In this video, I'm going to outline my journey from meeting with a salesperson until my final install of a support beam in my house. This is Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. My channel is dedicated to reviewing mostly as seen on TV items. I look at some consumer gadgets, other household items. Once in a while, I do a little bit of a DIY just because I like to. If that interests you, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel and click the bell below. That way you're notified every time I release a video just like this one. Oh yeah, one more thing. Don't forget to check down the description for my social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I would love it if you would follow me there too. Now, let's get to this beam install. So as with all large home improvement projects like this, I always try to get 3 estimates. I don't always go with the least expensive one. I go with the one that meets my needs the most. All right, so the first company that came out, they were here like 2 hours, walked through all these things at the end and said, hey, sorry, we can't help you. I thought, man, what a waste of time. Another company came out and they just gave me an astronomical price, like way too expensive. And I thought the price that I paid was expensive, but this place was double. Well, then the third company that came out, and this is actually JES, they came out and they gave me a price. They walked through and I actually liked it and it was going to meet my needs. And to be honest with you, there were no other choices. I will say that JES, they have a minimum of $4,500. At least that's what's supposed to be their minimum. I've heard maybe they've done less in other jobs, but that's supposed to be their company minimum. For that $4,500, I purchased a 10-foot I-beam, 2 steel posts, a footer, all the work, and plus there's like a warranty that goes along with it. So let's get into looking at the actual job. Day 1 is soon to start. Guys are here to start digging some footers. Welcome once again to my scary basement. All right, so this time we are actually going to be putting in a beam. You see this beam that's here? This actually extends down to the middle, and this was put in by the previous owner. When I had the representative from JES come in, he told me this beam should have come over about 2 feet. So just about on the inside of this duct, that's where the beam should be because that holds the support wall upstairs that's sagging. So today, the representatives of JES are going to come in, they're going to put some footings in, let that dry, and then tomorrow they're going to be installing their steel I-beam. Now I did have to have some of my joy sistered because, well, you can see there was some powder post beetles. So I had a few of them done here just to support the load as it goes across. But they're going to be installing a 10-foot I-beam right in this area. 2 foot by 2 foot cube. That's so interesting. Certainly took out a lot of dirt down there. Check out this red clay. Pretty cool. The end of day 1 yielded 2 deep holes. Tomorrow they're going to fill this up with concrete to get the footer set and then install the posts and I-beam. Pretty sweet. So solid base of stone, then 10 inches of concrete on top for our footer. Our quick drying cement is in place. Now they're going to get a plumb bob to make sure they can drop the post right here in the center and then work on that hole over there. Making a lot of progress. All right, so I just had delivered these 2 posts and an I-beam. Now these posts are going to be cut to length. They're much too long for what I need here, but they cut them to length, and then I have the top that has the screw piece on for leveling and such. Well, here's the I-beam. So this is much smaller than I thought. It's 4 inches tall and about 2.5 inches wide. Now, when they told me I was going to have an I-beam, I visioned something that was a whole lot bigger, but I'm told this will carry the weight of the load of the house. Now that we saw the I-beam and the post, I wanted to take a closer look at the other fixtures. So this part's cool. This part actually goes on the top of here, which goes on top of the post. And you can see that this is slanted in on both sides. That's to make a really tight fit on that I-beam. Even though the top 2.5 inches can come down here, it's pretty tight, so it's hard to get out. Listen to this. I mean, these are tough, heavy-duty pieces of material here. So this is the base. They're actually going to pour the cement and then recess this in just a little. Put the post on top of here. This fits on top of the post, and you can see this part that's machined out here sits on top. And then, of course, they can adjust as they go from there to bring up the post. But here are just the other pieces. I wanted to show you a front hand look at them. They are pretty solid. The second hole has been filled, and they used a plumb bob and dropped in the base here to the post. So that centers it right underneath the existing joist above. Soon as that one starts to dry, they'll add that in as well. Both base pieces have been set. You can see this one's already starting to dry. This one was done about 30 minutes before this side. So now it's just all about waiting for cement to dry, cutting the pipes to fit, and installing this beam. I-beam in, set some shims, level this beast up. So, tell me, have you done any kind of foundation repair like this? Was it successful? Have you ever had an I-beam installed? I thought it was pretty cool. Let me know down in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. So I'm getting ready to vacuum up this metal shavings. I thought I got it all last night because this was all covered, but I brought my shop vac out to do more. I would have liked it if the crew would have been able to do this, but maybe they didn't notice it. Also, there's a lot of splatter here on the smoker from when they mix the cement. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to vacuum all this up because I do have a small child and an animal. I don't want them getting this stuff all over their feet. So after the initial crew left, I actually couldn't be there for the end of the job. When I came back, I was real excited to look, and to be honest with you, I was really sad with what I saw. Yeah, the metal shavings, yeah, the plaster splatter all over my smoker, but the other thing was the beam was crooked and like almost looked like it was gonna lean, and I was like, man, I paid $4,500 for this. So I immediately emailed the salesperson. They forwarded me to the project manager, and like a day or two later, they came back out and said, yeah, sorry, this should never have happened like this. We will fix it. When's a good time for us to come back out? So I scheduled it a week later, and, well, here's what happened. I just met with the production supervisor who couldn't have been a nicer person. Okay, very nice guy is going to help me out. So one of my frustrations was they had notched this beam right here, the existing beam in the house. Instead of shortening their posts here, they notched out, which that's kind of frustrating because this is 220-year-old wood. Also, we're going to go down here and see here was a concern. This notch was there before, but then they set the I-beam here, and you can see it started crushing. You see the difference here? It used to all be this level and started crushing. So they've actually come and released the tension. That's why there's no connection. Well, if this was put in straight, because it should have been here, we wouldn't have the problem. But for some reason, the footers are a little crooked, so they're going to adjust all that. So what they're going to do for me here, they're going to come sister this joist, because it needs to be done, and then the one they cut in down there, they're going to sister that as well, and come out and redo it. Plus, they're going to sort of center themselves off, actually off-center, on these footers to make the beam go straight. Here is the final product. You might notice that this is where the beam was before, and this is where it is now, and this is where it's supposed to be. So what they ended up doing was they moved this post over, because it was supposed to be here, and then they moved that post over because it was supposed to be more in the center. And they did tell me that because of those footers being so deep, it would hold for sure. So up here we have, they sistered this joist for me. And then now remember down here where they were gonna sister this one, they ended up not being able to because of the duct work. So they just had a plate put in there, which is fine for me. Put some plates in here and then some plates there for lifting. But all in all, that is the beam that was installed. Pretty sweet. So in this video, I was looking at having an I-beam installed to level part of my kitchen floor. And to be honest with you, it came up and it leveled. I had at least an inch gap or bend down, and they brought it up. And I'm really impressed with the responsiveness of the company. Although the initial crew that came through, nice people, I just wasn't satisfied with the job. The company jumped on it and came and fixed it. And to be honest with you, it was within like a week. And I really appreciate that. This had met my needs, so now I can actually go through and install a floor in the kitchen and we're not walking on plywood. I hope this video was helpful for you, walking through my beginning to middle to end of having a beam installed and leveling a floor. This is Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. As always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day. I really do appreciate that you stayed around for my entire video of walking through the process of having this beam installed, and I'm pretty pleased with the end results. You know what? Not that long ago, I actually did a review of this little product. It's called Stormbox by a company named Tribbit, and it's just a portable little speaker, but it's actually got really good sound. I'm really impressed with it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to link that review video right up here, and I would love it if you would click on this link. And by the magic of the internet, when you click right up here, I'm going to join you at that review. So go ahead, click it. It's safe, I promise.